Okay, guys, I'm going to be teaching you today about a new tool that we have that will help us to analyze some of our information about individual listings to figure out, why they're doing well or not. And anyway, we'll talk a little bit about it. So usually what we do is we take a look at our marketing data and we see which listings are producing a lot of inquiries. Like right here, we can see in October, here's the list of inquiries that came in for these different listings, and they're done in descending order. So you can see the highest ones up here. So here we have a bunch of them like this one that had 31 inquiries and no one booked. We had 0 bookings. So the question would be, well, why did that happen? So then we have the other thing, is where we have a listing that produced no inquiries, and we're just wondering what the heck, like this one down here, it produced no inquiries, but it produced 11 the month before. It's like, what the heck happened? How did that, what the heck's going on? Why didn't it produce any inquiries? And some of these other ones as well. So we want to figure out something seems to be broken on this listing, because for some reason it's not producing any inquiries. And then on the other hand, we have something seems to be wrong with the the booking agents. Like, we got 31 inquiries, but the agents weren't able to book them. What the heck? That's weird. What's going on? So what we're going to do is we're going to go in and we're going to have some tools to help us to figure out what's going on. So in this case, when there's a lot of inquiries and none of them got booked, we would want to do an investigation or an analysis of those inquiries that came in, okay? So we'd select maybe 10 out of those 30, and we go look at them and see what happened. And then we would fill out what is known, or we would come into FormStack and we would do what's called a listing analysis report. Or I'm sorry, not a listing analysis report. It would be an inquiry analysis. So there's two things. One is if you want to take a look at the inquiries that came in. Like in this case, we had 31 inquiries, and we don't know why the heck they didn't book. So we want to find out. So what we do is we do an inquiry analysis. If we wanted to figure out what like something was wrong with the listing itself, then we would do a listing analysis. So I'm going to show you what both of these are. So all you're going to do is you'd go and you'd actually open it up. You go to publish. You come into FormStack. You then go to the marketing department, and then you go to in this case, inquiry analysis. You click on the publish page. It will give you the link. You click on the link, and then you fill out a report for it. Okay. So you put in your name, the property name, how many leads do you investigate? Let's say we investigated 10 of them, 10 of those 31. Well, you go and you look through them, those 10 different inquiries that it came in, and you figure out what happened to them. What was the end result? And you find out, oh, well, 5 of them didn't book because the property was already booked. And then you find out that, oh, another 2 of them said that it just wasn't in their price range. And then another 2 of them just stopped responding to the agent for no reason, and then there was one of them who booked because they had too many guests, and so they couldn't get booked. And so now we kind of have a picture of why they didn't book, and we can see that the main cause here was that it was because the property was already booked. So you would just put in here, explain why you think people are inquiring about this unit or not booking it. The property is full. I am going to update the calendar for spring break, because most of those 5 were for the spring break period. Spring break's all booked, so we're getting a lot of inquiries that we can't really do anything with. Okay, so that is what you can do, and then you just submit it, and then that's kind of your way of leaving your report of this is what has happened. Now you can fill out this report, or you can have your assistant fill out the report, but either way, we want you to collect the information about this so that it's stored. Because what we can do is then, if we come into FormStack again and we were to go to all the submissions, let's say we wanted to see all of the submissions for a particular property. Like, let's say we wanted to see the, like, Bayview Manor, for instance. Bayview. I'll just put in Bayview. So now I'm looking at all the reports that have been submitted on the Bayview Manor. Okay, so here are all a bunch of reports that were done, and if I look at all of these reports, I'm going to get a very good picture of why people inquire about the Bayview Manor but do not book it. So over time, we developed this database that tells us a story about why these people aren't booking it. So anyway, that's the way you can kind of, I can figure out and you can figure out why a particular property in your inventory isn't doing very well. We can go back and look at all the data submissions and figure out what's going on. So that is how you do an inquiry analysis, because in this case we had a lot of inquiries. We have no idea why they didn't book, so we go and analyze some of them, do kind of a sample and look. A listing analysis, very simple, similar. You come here, you go to, macadamia condo, didn't get any, so I would then go back to FormStack. Whoops. I'll go to FormStack, I'll go to the marketing department, and then I'm going to come here to the listing analysis. And again, I'm going to go click on the publish button, which will give me the link. And then I'm going to pull up the report here. And then this is your listing analysis. So a listing analysis analyzes this ad. Why do people inquire on an ad? Well, they inquire if it has, a good price, if it's a good value, if it has good pictures, that, people are much more likely to inquire. If the listing is in a good location, you're going to get more properties if your listing location is in Honolulu, or I'm sorry, if it's in Sunset Beach versus Punaluu. No one's heard of Punaluu, but people have heard of Sunset Beach. So more people inquire about properties in that location. How many reviews do we have? Do we have a lot of good reviews? Do we have no good reviews? Do we have no reviews or bad reviews? You're grading this listing on all of these things that should contribute, because if it has great pictures, great value, lots of reviews, special amenities, this is a great ad. But probably what you're going to find is that something in here isn't good. Okay, and then what you're going to do at the very end is you're going to put in here your thoughts on the listing. You're going to say, this property is, or this listing doesn't have any reviews. And then you're going to put in here, I'm going to have my assistant send follow-up emails to the last 3 guests at this house and see if they'd be willing to leave a review, saying that they have a goal they want to reach to get more reviews. Something like that. You can be creative, but that's what you're doing. You're analyzing the listing itself, and then you're putting in any of your thoughts about the listing and any ideas that you have on how we can improve that list, or what you're going to do, not what someone else is going to do. You're in charge of getting this done. This is just your way of reporting what you're going to do to fix this listing, and that's it, and then you just submit it. So anyway, that is our listing analysis and our inquiry analysis, because every month I can tell you what I'm going to do. First thing you should be doing when you get your KPI data, when it comes in, you should go in and find, okay, what were the ones that we had a lot of inquiries about they didn't book, go and fill out the reports for those, and then figure out what were some of the ones that didn't get any inquiries and why didn't they, and then go fill out reports on those. And then that way, when we have our KPI meeting, you're going to be able to sit down and say to me, oh, Jacob, when I ask, hey, why did we get 31 inquiries and none of them came in, be like, well, according to my analysis that I did, and you'll be able to explain to me, because you've already analyzed the data prior to our meeting, so you can explain to me why things are going on and are the certain way. Okay, so that is the way it's going to work. You're going to collect your data, you're going to do all your analyses of the data, so that way when we have our meeting, you know what's going on and you're ready to take action on it. That's what I want to see when I come into the meetings. Okay? And if you're totally not sure, you can just say, Jacob, I have no idea. I did the analysis, I couldn't figure it out. I have no idea why no one booked. And then I'll say, well, let me, we'll talk about it. I'll see if I can think of something. And if we can't, then we'll just say, well, let's see what happens next month. And eventually over time, we're going to see patterns. So anyway, just wanted to make you aware of what the listing analysis is and what the inquiry analysis is. All right? So if you have any questions, please let me know.